Hello! Here's a video where I'm going to talk about some of the features of StochGran Display, a graphical tool for making sounds with SGran tilde and STGran tilde in the form of a max patch. So here I've got SGran tilde here, except instead of sending message boxes to it with messages, we have these panels, each with lots of graphs and information on them for manipulating the probability distributions. So you see here I have a module for rate. I've got two probability distributions that I can adjust using these number boxes. I have my low, mid, high, and tightness values. And I can move these number boxes around, tweak these. I can generate these at random if I want, or I can generate them at random and tweak them, but I'm going to use this preset I've saved in advance. This slider here will interpolate between the parameters of these two distributions. And finally here, this function object it creates this breakpoint function that is going to interpolate between the distributions, with being on the top meaning this distribution and on the bottom meaning this distribution. If I click this button right here, it's going to trigger all these breakpoint functions to run through for this duration of time. And you'll see if I click this, then I've got all my distributions for every parameter are all moving around, and I've got this bar showing where in these breakpoint functions we are. So let's give that a listen now. Here I can interpolate between my rate distributions, my duration distributions, and such. I can trigger these breakpoint functions, which allows the crafting of cool moving textures. And I can randomize these to find various sounds, or I can click this button to randomize all of them at the same time. And click these buttons to get some random breakpoints. You can make these shorter and longer, as I said before. Right now we're working with SGran tilde, which uses periodic waveforms. By default, it's going to be a sine wave, but using these message boxes, I can switch to different waveforms. We've put in a spectrogram, which just because a lot of composers like to work with those. You can click this button here to enlarge that to get a full screen display to see what's going on. Finally, or not finally, two more things. Here's a additional processing subpatch that we've put in, where here I've got some reverb dialed up, but if you'd like to add anything else that that processes the granulation sound, you can handle it here. And finally, we have here a nice little, we just put in a SF record and some controls for that, so I can easily record and save any sounds that I make by opening and naming a file, and then recording it. right, let's pop over to the StochGran based version, which is going to be very similar, as the instruments are very similar. Again, we have our additional grain head control, controlling the distribution of the start point in our source waveform for grains. And here we have a menu for choosing a source sound, which I hope you would like to try out all sorts of different sounds. Here I'll try out the texture I just created before. I'm granulating a granular texture. It's kind of funny. And otherwise, the controls will be just about exactly the same. All right, have fun.